Try it with me. Yalla, 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 yalla. So I want to teach you a new Hine Matov, and that's how the beginning part goes. And it's by a guy named Noah Aronson, and we're going to hopefully be bringing him out in April. So we're going to be learning lots of his music. So the part, it goes like this. Yalla, yalla, hine matov. Can you try that? Yalla, yalla, hine matov. Yalla, yalla, umanaim. Yalla, yalla, umanaim. Yalla, yalla, shevet achim. Yalla, yalla, shevet achim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Try that. Shevet achim gam yachad. Now let's try it all together. That's you. Including Ricky. Try it again at the end. You'll have it down.
Well, good Shabbos, everyone. Are you out there? Good Shabbos. Oh, that's good. We got to feel Shabbos. We got to feel Shabbos. You know, it takes a while to transition from the week, right? You come in, and just because you enter the sanctuary, it's not as if some magic ray comes over us where all of a sudden Shabbos begins. I would like it to be that way, but it takes a while, maybe through a nigun or a song, the opening of a prayer, but perhaps just a moment to pause and to say goodbye to the week and hello to a new week and everything in between, and that in-between moment is Shabbat. It's a tough wrestle to let everything go for 24 hours or 25 hours. It's a tough go. The emails call, the text messages are pressing, the phone rings. What a great invention. The people of the text say no text. Hard to do. But for this hour at least, let's give it a try. Turn to your neighbor, introduce yourselves. If you already know them, maybe someone behind you or in front of you you don't know, welcome them, wish them good Shabbos. All right, now y'all know each other. Now it's beginning to feel like Shabbos and community. And so we begin with the mitzvah of kindling the Shabbat lights. The prayer is on page 120 and 21. And for this honor, we call upon Alana Vaughn, so please. And we join now with the cantor as we usher in the Shabbos lights.
Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, may you have a peaceful day. Shabbat Shalom, may you have a restful day. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
125. Prayer challenges us. And sometimes it makes us question, and sometimes it questions us. Where has this week vanished? Where has this week gone? Is it lost? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured. A beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. And now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door in the brightness of Shabbat. Let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. One of the themes of tonight is going to be that of angels. And so before we sing Shalom Aleichem, I'm going to share with you a little angelology in Judaism. according to the Talmud, there are two angels. One's a good angel, and one's an evil angel. The story goes that if you prepare your home for Shabbat, the good angel says a prayer. May this Shabbat next week be just like this one. And the evil angel says, Amen. But if the home is not prepared for Shabbat, the evil angel says, may next Shabbat be just like this one. And the good angel has to say, Amen. It's reflective. How do we bring these good angels into our lives? Participation, appreciation, and observance of Shabbat is one way. And Shalom Aleichem reminds us that there are these angels in our midst, and this song reminds us in particular of those angels that bring a sense of peace, of shalom. We join together 142. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Yikadal ve'yikadash shemei rabba ba'madivra hirte v'amlik malhute behayehon uvyomehon uhayedeho be'Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv vimru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorah Le'olam Omeal Maya Yitbara Ve'yishaba V'itna Par V'oman V'itna Se V'hadar V'hale V'halal Shemei Dekudasha Brihu Le'ela Mikol Berhata Veshirata Tushbehata Vene'emata Da'ira Me'alma V'imru Amen. Please rise. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows.
Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'Rabim.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levaha uve'kol nafshecha uve'kol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohi metzafeha hayom alevaveha ve'shinatam levaneha ve'dibarta bam ve'shifteha ve'veteha Uvleteha vadera, ukshakbeha, uvkumeha, uktartam leot al yadeha, vehayu letotafot beineneha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitaha, uvishareha. Aman tiskeru, ve'asitem et kol mitzotai, ve'em kedoshim le'elohem, Ani Adonai Elohem Asher hoteti etam Ameretz Mitzrayim Liot lahem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohem Adonai Elohem Amen.
157, we read responsibly. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Sukkot, Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu. Sukkot, Sukkot Shlomecha, Amen.
I see some of my friends out there, and my jaw's kind of hurting. I had my wisdom tooth pulled, so I think I need some help with Vishamru, because I can't keep singing by myself up here. So you know who you are. Help me out. Help me out. You can come tonight. It's okay. I've had a request that no one can see you when you're behind the Amud, so can you come up here, please? Magnolia's ready. All right, you know what to do.
One 164 and 166, we rise for the Amidah.
Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia gitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch
Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, El Agadol Hagibor Vanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Lehonei Hakol, Lezoher Hazdei Avod Bimahot, Umevi Kedula, Bivnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Behava, Mele Ozer, Umashia Umagin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magin, Abraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Lanai, Mehaye Hakol, Atah Rav Lehoshia, Le'rai Atah, Mehakel Hayim Behesed, Mehakei Hakol, Berahamim Ravim, So Met Noflim Verofe Holim, Umatir Asuri, Umehayim Emunato, Lishenei Afai, Mihamo Habal Gevurot, Umido Melah, Melaid, Umehayim, Umatmiya Yeshua, Mehanata Takol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mehaye Hakol.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue in silent devotion through page 180. When you've completed your prayers, please be seated.
Turn to our Misha Barak prayer, even as our thoughts turn to our loved ones who are in need of our prayers. We think of them, we think of those who struggle with illness, and those who struggle with addiction, and those who struggle with issues of the heart and mind. And we say our prayers also for those who are caregivers, who minister to those tirelessly with patience and love, that God will embolden them with a sense of hopefulness as well. And so if there is someone special in your circle, please at this time say their names, as many names as you would like. Now we all rise as a community in solidarity, one with the other, and join together in our Misha Barak prayer.
you're in my B'nai Mitzvah class, Batmobile. That's all I'm going to say.
Those who know, know. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker tonight, Rick Muller. He is a dear friend of the Cantor, and he hails from Los Angeles. And he grew up in San Diego, went to the University of Judaism, where he got a Master's of Jewish Education. When he worked with the Cantor in her prior iteration, he tutored the B'nai Mitzvah kids, and he was the Master Bal Koreh, which means that he is an expert in reading and chanting from the Torah. And so tomorrow, those of you who go to Minyan, you're going to be able to hear him chant beautifully from the Torah and the Haftorah, and we look forward to that. But tonight, we hear him in a different venue. How many people follow their passion and develop a project that combine their love of Judaism and also their love of, well, graphic novels? And that's what he has done. He's merged the two and melded the two. So, he's also, by the way, an insurance salesman. And I mention that because you came here to learn about angels, but he's actually going to talk about annuities. Just kidding. So, angels, before he even says a word, out of curiosity, how many of you knew that Jews had some belief in angels? Raise your hands. How many of you did not know? Raise your hand. Come on, raise them high. Had no idea. How many of you know that Judaism has something to say about life after death? Raise your hand. How many of you think Judaism has nothing to say about life after death? How many of you don't even know what the rabbi is asking? Raise your hand. That's fine. So you got people who have all kinds of knowledge, and those who are, they're too lazy to raise their hand. They're just waiting for the rabbi to sit down. But at least it gives you a sense of your audience here, right? Some believe in angels, some believe in Charlie's Angels, and some have no belief at all. So you are here to educate them or sell them annuities. We'll decide when you're done. And by the way, when he's all done, afterwards, we're going to make our way into, after services conclude, we make our way into the oneg, and then about 10, 15 minutes into the oneg, we'll give you the signal, and those of you who want something a little bit more in-depth, we'll go into the adjacent social hall room, and there we'll continue the conversation. So without further ado, you have the floor.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, congregation, for letting me do this. This is the first time that I've done this, so I want to lower your expectations. I'm not a public speaker. Put a Torah in front of me with no vowels, I'm fine. But we'll see what I can do. So I learned recently that there's 3 important things about a story, okay? There's words, got to have words. There's the language that you use, and there's questions. And you put all those things together, and you tell a story. Especially for the kids in the audience. When I was a kid, I learned that there were 6 question words. If you look at a story and you find out all the 6 questions, and you have to write a report, you get a better grade than if you only did a couple of them, who and what, right? You have to cover the whole picture. So there's who, what, where, when, why, and how. Those are the 6 that I learned. There's variations on that. But I just wanted you to know that that's where I'm coming from, that ever since I was little, I looked at the words in the Torah and tried to figure out what they meant, and generations of rabbis have done the same thing for years and years and years. You know that. So my story, my graphic novel series, is not really my story, it's the rabbi's story. So when you had a story in the Torah and there were holes in it, like what happened there, or why did he do that, or what happens next, the rabbis would come along and they would throw in midrashim. They would throw a drash, they would throw a sermon, they would answer the question. One of them would ask and the other would answer. And the good ones were all recorded. And the major volume that I used, although there's other ones, of course, the major volume is called Midrash Rabbah. And I want you to know that dates from 300 to 400 CE. So that's like 1,600 years ago. And there were names there that were kind of buried in the Midrash. And one of the little pleasures I'm getting out of this is that I'm raising these rabbis' names up so that you know who they are. So it's not my idea about what happened, well, some of it is. But a lot of it is the rabbis. And I'm going to give you some examples. And hopefully I can fill the 10 minutes. And then we'll go on. So I wanted to start with the first story, just real quickly. The first thing God creates in the Torah, of course, is light, right? He does it in 6 words. Shouldn't say he. I practice this and I practice this. I'm trying to avoid saying he and she with God, so forgive me. I'm not good at it yet. I actually like to call God the Holy One. That's the name that the rabbis use in all the Midrash. They put blessed be he after it, which is sexist, of course. So in my book, I just call him the Holy One, or the Holy One, blessed being, something like that. But this is the first chapter of 18, and it's going to develop as I go along. But anyway, when God creates light, 6 words, Vayomer Elohim Yehi Or Vayihi Or. Real simple. Vayomer, and he said, that's the verb. Elohim is the subject, God. Yehi, let there be, or light. Vayihi, and there was light. That's it. There was no committee discussions, no environmental impact reports, no meetings, right? It just happened. I want to move forward to verse 26. Much more interesting to me. Again, 6 words I want to concentrate on. Vayomer Elohim, same 2 words, and God said, Na'aseh Adam B'Tzelmenu Kidmutenu. I'll say them a couple of times so you'll hear them again. But Na'aseh Adam. God doesn't say, Yehi Adam, let there be man. And that was it. Vayihi Adam. Right? God purposely does it in a different way. Or the author of the Torah, the authors, plural, do it in a different way. So, Na'aseh Adam, whenever you have a nun on the front of a word, it means we. I hope you know that. If you don't, now you do. Whenever you have a nun on the verb, it means we should do something. Whenever you have nu on the end of a word, it means we. Like anachnu means we. We're about to do aleinu, that means on us. So the nu means we. So God says we should create man, or we will create man. Who's the we? The rabbis asked. Who is he talking to? B'Tzelmenu, in our image. Kidmutenu, in our likeness. Who's the we? Who's the our? So the rabbis answered, and it was Rabbi Joshua of Siknin. There's a real place called Siknin. It's in the West Bank or Samaria, wherever you want to call it. But it's an Arab village now. But in the back of the book, I have the sources of the rabbis that I used, because I didn't want to plagiarize them. I didn't want to, even though they're long gone, I didn't want to use their stuff without quoting them. So number 3 in the footnote there, it was Rabbi Joshua who said, in Rabbi Levi's name, so he quoted his teacher. It's always good to quote your teachers. He took counsel with the souls of the righteous, whoever they are, with the supreme King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be he, sat the souls of the righteous, with whom he took counsel before creating the world. What? There were beings besides God before the creation of the world? It was just amazing to me. Then there a different rabbi, Rabbi Simon, said, when the Holy One, blessed be he, came to create Adam, the ministering angels formed themselves into groups and parties, and some of them saying, let him be created, whilst others urged, let him not be created. They're arguing about it. They said, what shall his character be? This is Rabbi Berechia. He says, the ministering angels argue with each other. Some said, what shall his character be? God answered, righteous people shall spring from him. Then Rabbi Simon goes on, and he goes, love said, and he says, truth said. Kind of like the Greek philosophers, that they thought there was a personification of love up in the heavens and truth and like that. It was about the same time, right? So Rabbi Simon said, love said, let him be created because he will dispense acts of love. And truth said, let him not be created because he's a compounded of falsehood. And righteousness said, let him be created because he will perform righteous deeds. And peace said, let him not be created because he's full of strife. So I tried to show all that, what it would be like if that really happened. And I tried to write it as a story myself in prose, but I wasn't happy with it. And then my sons, who are 30 and 27 now, they were into graphic novels, and I thought, well, maybe I could turn this into a story that way, and I don't have to describe so much. I can just show the pictures. But after all that, so that's on pages 18, 17, 15, 16, 17, 18 there in the middle. Then I love the humor of this other rabbi, Rabbi Huna the elder. So I guess there was a Rabbi Huna the younger, but this is Rabbi Huna the elder of Sepphoris. He said, while the ministering angels were arguing with each other and disputing with each other, the Holy One, blessed be he, created him. So I like that God or the Holy One just had enough of the discussion and went ahead and did what he wanted to do anyway. So that's the beginning of the book, the beginning of the series, and kind of like Star Trek, I don't have to explain everything, just have to explain some things. They had communicators. They had the Urim and the Tumim. It's right there in the Torah. Hardly anybody ever talks about it, but somehow Moses had these communicators with the Holy One, and I'm going to play with that in future chapters. And how am I doing on time? I mean, more? Or I could keep going. Or should I wait for the Oneg? A couple more minutes? Okay. So one of my favorite midrashim, I'll give you that one. There's actually a couple different versions of it. And it's right here. I made these cards 30 years ago, and I kept them hoping for someday to be able to use them. So now I am. In the Kedusha, when we have Zeh El Zeh, Canon knows this very well. Kadosh, 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 the angels are praising, right? So at the Red Sea, at the Sea of Reeds, when the Israelites were through and everybody was safe and all the Egyptians were dead, the angels rejoiced, mainly because the Israelites were saved. So there was this Rabbi Shmuel ben Nachman. He said in Rabbi Jonathan's name, what is meant by, and one approached not the other all night? So there was a pillar of fire. If you saw the movie, it was there. The Ten Commandments by Cecil B. DeMille, of course, Yul Brynner with the bald head. And there's a pillar of fire there separating the two camps, right? So the rabbis took that phrase from the Torah and put it on the angels. This Rabbi Samuel said, in that hour, the ministering angels wished to utter the song of praise before the Holy One. But he rebuked them. Not he. God rebuked them, saying, my handiwork, the Egyptians, are drowning in the sea. Would you utter song before me? And the variation, that was from Sanhedrin in the Talmud. And there's a variation in Megillah, also from the Talmud, of course. How can you sing while my creatures are perishing in the sea? So different rabbis recorded it different ways. And the reflection of that is during Passover when we lessen our cups, right? Because we're not supposed to rejoice so much that the Egyptians had to die so that we could be free. So that's an angel midrash that I'm going to put in. That's going to be chapter 13. And chapter 2 is in the works. I brought it along. It's halfway colored in. So I'll let you look at that if you like. And thank you so much for this opportunity. And I hope you like my book. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Just great. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction to your work. We look forward, like I said, after the oneg for a little bit more fruit and a little bit of a chance to look at the book. And you'll be also sharing some thoughts tomorrow morning during Minyan. So, Cantor.
Chance to order it too. So we have a new machzor that I'm sure you've heard of, Mishkan HaNefesh, that we'll be using for high holidays this year. And there is some new music. We'll be presenting it with the choir on September 23rd, but I wanted to give you just a little taste of something that will be occurring when you enter for Erev Rosh Hashanah. So this is called The Time Is Now. The time is now. We've gathered round. So bring all your gifts and bring all your burdens with you. No need to hide. Arms open wide. We gather as one to make a makom kadosh. We come to tell. We come to hear. We come to teach, to learn. We come to grow, and so we say, the time is now. Sing to the one. God's presence is here. Shekhinah, you will dwell among us. We'll make this space a holy place, so separate, so whole. Rejoice every soul who enters here. Please rise on page 586 for Alei Nu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, lateit gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
Please be seated. Our Kaddish prayer is found on page 598. With the preciousness of love, we recall those who died in recent days. Earl Sherman, Florence Shapiro, Audrey Malasky, Norman Smith, Murray Malinsky, Fred Brandis, and Mary Ripley. With the preciousness of memory, we recall the Yortzites of John Akana, Irene Auspitz, Samuel Bass, Mark Bernstein, Neil Bryn, Lillian Sharach, Mindy Castile, Warren Davis, Edith Hirsch, Fanny Fine, Milton Friedman, Stella Gittleman, Evelyn Greenwald, Ben Hoffman, Sam Kabikoff, Frank Linden, Jack Miller, Marvin Miller, Rose Cecil Mink, Harry Perlman, Manny Pogach, Seymour Bob Poster, Simon Present, Michael Rostek, Gertrude Schneider, Bernard Sherman, and Shelley Shorenstein. If you would like to recall the name of someone who was not mentioned for Kaddish, please stand and say their name. As we think of these and others who have touched our hearts, we rise to recite our Kaddish prayer. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, magalav izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekusha brichu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechamata, Damiram b'alma v'yamru amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shamayim v'chayim, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Please be seated. So we have the Kiddush and Motzi, so we'd like to invite up children in religious school, bar mitzvah age, and younger, come on up. Join with the cantor for the Kiddush and Motzi. Lori Frankel, come on up. Lori, come on up. And we're into a new month of September, so those of you who were born during the month of Elul, the month of September birthdays, anyone? No September, come on. There's some September birthdays, don't be bashful. I threw you with the Elul part, I know, but.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kosho, v'yahava u'bratzon, himchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila, lemikrayet kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeshecha, v'yahava u'vratzon, himchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Meyer, you want some challah?
Before we go to our final song, I'm just curious, are there any visitors tonight? Anyone who's new to the congregation that wants to introduce themselves? All right, I didn't see. No visitors tonight? All right, I'm going to ask you another question. Does anyone have It's like a good and welfare, a simcha that they want to share with the community. Anything good that happened that you want to share. Let's get to know each other in a nice way. You woke up this morning? All right, no, it's a baby born, a grandchild, something. Stand up and say, and have. Your grandson got engaged. Mazel tov. Very nice. Yes? Her older sister just had another baby. All right, Mazel tov. Okay, any other simchas? Yes? Your great nephew Solly's 5th birthday. Very good. Okay, very good. All right. Any other simchas? Well, I guess if I invite, we could go on forever. Well, listen. Okay, Paul just got a new job. Come on.
Yep. Paul is going to be the new JCC BBYO advisor and youth sports director. So he's going to get sports going on here and just all over the community for Jewish kids.
All right, that's terrific. All right, so from time to time, I want to try this. I think it will let us learn a little bit more about each other. So take some time, wish each other Mazel Tov, get to know each other. We'll have a wonderful Oneg Shabbat, and then about 15 minutes, so maybe about 8:25, we'll make our way into the other section. But for the time being, let's all rise for the final song, which is...
We're going to try that Hine Matov one more time, see if you remembered it from the beginning of the service.
All right.